Hey everybody, it's Juliana. Welcome to Blue Door Barn. I am excited that you guys are here. So today we are going to be making a super quick crochet project that is kind of like a little coaster that I use at work for like my Stanley or a Yeti or different types of cups. Coffee cups works for good for Starbucks cups.
Stand.
And that kind of thing. It's a really great scrap busting project and it's quick, so I'm just using some scraps. I am using a 5mm hook and I'm doing 2 strands of worsted weight yarn held together so that it gives it a little bit more stiffness.
How do you know it's 5mm?
It says 5mm right here. So we're going to start out. I like to use Magic Circle. Not everybody likes Magic Circle, but I will show you how I do mine. So I take my yarn, I wrap it around, and then I cross it over. I use my pinky to hold it in place. And I take my hook, I put it under the first, then I hook that second one that's been crossed over, and I pull it underneath, pulling up a loop. Then I hook the working yarn and I pull through the loop. And that makes my magic circle. Now, if I want to, I can pull on the tail end of the yarn and it closes up my circle. But before I close it up, I want to make some stitches into it. So I am going to make, for my first round, because we are going to be crocheting in the round for this project, I'm going to crochet 6 single crochet into the center of my magic circle. So I'm just going to go right into that circle, grab my working yarn and pull it up to make that loop, yarn over and pull through the 2 to make a single crochet. I'm going to do that 5 more times. I'm going to reach through the center, grab a yarn to pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through both of the loops that are on the hook for a single crochet. To the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That was 3. So there's 4. Get that out of the way, 5. And I am going over that tail as well. I'm not like holding it out or anything. I'm just crocheting right over it. So this is going to be like last single, 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet. I'm going to take my tail and pull to close up that circle. Now you can see my center there. All right, and that's your first round. So in the second round, we are going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So we have, that will be 12 single crochets. So we're going to start into the first stitch right here. I'm just going to go under the top loops, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through for a single crochet. Now we're going to go back right back into that same stitch and do that again to make a second single crochet in the same stitch, 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and mark that first one with just a scrap piece of yarn. I'm just going to pull that through so I can see where I started. Okay, and I'm going to continue around making 2 single crochet in each of my previous stitches. So there were 6 previous stitches or stitches in the previous round. So in this round, I'll be making 12. 2 in each stitch. Right, so the first one's going in, then the second one going in that same stitch. Moving on to the next open stitch, we're doing 1 and 2. There's our marked stitch, so we're already at our last stitch here. I'm going to go 1 and 2. By doing 2 in each stitch, we have done an increase round. So it gives us a nice flat circle. If we don't do an increase and we just continue around with the same amount of stitches the previous round, it will start to build up instead of out. And we want it to go out and almost like a coaster. All right, for the next round, which is going to be your third round, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochets into the second stitch. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 single crochet into my first stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and reach through here and pull this marker yarn through so I can see where my first stitch is, and I know I've gotten to it the last stitch when I get around. So I did 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Now I'm going to do 2 into the next stitch. This is again increasing. So that was 1 and 2 into the next stitch. Now I'm going to repeat that. So I'm going to do 1 in this stitch and then 2 in the following stitch. And keep on going. Here, and I know it's my last stitch because my yarn is telling me that I have reached the beginning of the round. All right, now we're going to do another round. This one is going to be 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So we're going to do 1 here. I'm going to go ahead and stop for a moment and pull our yarn through so that we can mark our stitch. Oops. If you have a stitch marker, that works too, but since I don't have one currently, I'm just working with this. I have one, but I gotta go hunt for it and I'm really not in the mood, so. I'll say, okay, so we did 1. Now we're gonna do a single crochet in the next one. Okay, but now in the third, we're gonna do 2 single crochets to increase again. We're still on increasing rounds. Okay, and we'll repeat that all the way around. So we're gonna do we're on our last set. 1, 1, and 2 in our final stitch of that round. Okay, this is going to be our last increasing round, and we're going to do 3 single crochets and then 2 single crochet in the 4th stitch. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to go ahead and mark my space. Because that was the first one. Okay. 2. Oops, I lost my yarn there. Through there and grab it. All right, so 2, 3, and then 2 singles in the next stitch as an increase. We're going to continue repeating around. So 1, single crochets and then 2 single crochets in that last stitch, our last increase stitch. Now you might want to take a moment and just make sure that your cup fits here. I find that this fits most cups, like this kind of a coffee cup. As long as you're going to fit inside this last row, like right here, then you should be fine. If you have a cup that's bigger, you can certainly go another increase round to get to the base of that cup. But since that's big enough for what we're doing right now, for my Stanley size, we will go ahead and slip stitch to close this round. So what we'll do is insert yarn over and pull through, and then continue to pull through the hook that's on the loop that's on the hook. Now we've closed that round off. We're going to start building up the sides now. So I'm going to go ahead and chain one. So I'm just going to yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook to create my chain. And now I'm going to make single crochets in the back loop only. So you can see these V's right here. Right here's a V and a V and a V. This is a front loop. This back here is our back loop. Front loop, back loop. So we're going to be crocheting into just the back loop. Go insert our hook into that back loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, 1, 2 on the hook, yarn over and pull through to create that single crochet. We're going to do that all the way around, back loop only, to start building our way up. Okay, we are approaching our last stitch here. 1. Okay. This right here was our chain 1. So we're going to skip, we're not going to crochet into that. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into this next one under both, not just the front or the back, but under both front and back loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop to create that slip stitch. Now, at this point, you're going to basically pop it in, excuse me, this will be right side out, right? I'm also going to go ahead and pull out my thread that I was using as my marker. Comes out easy. And here you can see how we've created this sort of working upward now, like a basket. When we did that back loop only, it created like this, a 90-degree angle almost. So now we have our little basket starting. This is our base. Okay, see how that's working up. So where we stopped here, we slip stitched to close the round to join. And now we're going to go ahead and chain 1. And now we're going to be working regular single crochets under both front and back loops. So we've got 1, and now we're just going to continue. Okay, we're coming up to our last stitch, which is right here. We're going to skip our chain and we're going to slip stitch or join into the first stitch of the round. So again, we create our nice even round. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do one more round because I like it to be just a smidgy taller than this. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1. And then again, we're going to single crochet into each stitch around, into both front and back loops, you know, just like a regular single crochet. One, and our last stitch is here. Then we're going to go ahead and skip our chain. We're going to slip stitch into that first stitch of the round to join. So we'll just yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. And then we're going to grab some scissors.
Is it done?
Almost. Just going to cut a tail.
There's a big fly in there.
There is.
Yeah. Keep it. It scared me.
So I'm just going to close this off. I'm just going to yarn over and pull through all the way through to make a nice knot. What we can do is we can just weave this tail, just weave it in and out of the top stitches. I've been making these at work because it's testing this week at our school, and you know, we have big chunks of time where we cannot have our computers or the phones or anything in class. So we have just been, you know, coming up with things to work on, the teachers, and I've been gifting these to all kinds of folks. And I have not had all my tools at school. So we have been just making do. So that is what I'm doing. Just pulling through a few stitches to hide the tails. Okay. Then I'm just going to cut the tails. With this center one, I usually go through the bottom and pull it through to the other side. And then I just try to run it through a few stitches to sort of lock it in place. I mean, now we just kind of flatten, get it to the shape that we want. Okay. This is really the beginnings, or even could be a cute trinket basket. Just like this. See, it has a really cute edge. And say, like, I have my bracelets. Bracelets fit nicely in it. Rings would be cute in it. But what I really made it for was for my cups at work. And I just put it right down in there. And you can see now I won't leave rings on my desk. Fits the Stanley just fine. Fits Stan.
That's my stand.
And that way you don't get any rings on your desk and you have a cute little guy there. So you could obviously make this taller if you wanted to. You could make it quite a bit wider. So you could create a much larger basket out of this, or a bigger coaster if you had a bigger cup. It just has a lot of different, a lot of ways you can vary it. It hardly uses any yarn though if you're using this size, and it makes a cute little gift. Like I said, I've gifted this to a bunch of fellow teachers and everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh, thank you. I've gotten hugs and some sweet words at work. So that's been really fun. You could use all different kinds of color combinations. It's a lot of fun, quick project. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you make it, let me know. I would love to hear about it. If you have any questions, you know you can always ask. I'm here for you guys. I will do my very best to help in any way that I can. And I hope you all have an awesome, awesome day. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.